Okay, today we're going to do something that's so simple. Anybody can do it as long as you can get your hands on the ingredients. I've got in the pot 4 quarts of water, a gallon. I've got some kosher salt. So this is just a 1/4 cup of kosher salt. Doesn't have to be kosher. And this is a 1/2 cup of sugar. Doesn't have to be, could be any sugar. Brown sugar, sugar in the raw, white granulate, it doesn't matter, okay? But I've got 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of salt, gallon of water. And look what I've got here. I've got raw peanuts. Now this is the trick, right? You have to be able to get your hands on raw peanuts. And what we're gonna do is make a very nice southern treat. I think they call them goobers, but basically it's boiled peanuts. And the trick here, the only trick, look at how nice they look, right? The only trick here is that we want to make sure that the peanuts come out al dente. We don't want them too hard and like with that raw undercooked taste, but we don't want them all mushy. So basically after about an hour of simmering, every 15 minutes I'm going to take a nut out and test it for doneness. And that's it. That's the entire trick to this. And then afterwards, you can see how lovely they look. All right, so what you see here is I've got about 1 pound of nuts. Now, what's cool about this is you can do 5 pounds, right? If you're gonna have a party, right? I'm only gonna do 1 pound because it's just Leia and me in the house, and we're gonna snack on these. And right now, the pot is getting hot. Because, you know, we're going to put these nuts in the hot water. Oh, it looks like this, I don't know. I thought it was open. So basically, if you've made pasta before, this is the same thing, except that you have to stay on top of it and make sure that you don't overcook them. And it's never the same. Like I can't say, cook them for this many hours or this many minutes. It varies depending on the freshness of the nut. I guess there's all kinds of factors that can go into it. Like these actually feel a little bit moist in my fingers. And I don't know if you knew this, but these grow underground. So like when you pull up the plant, there's a whole bunch of peanuts like hanging from the root. It's pretty cool. Alrighty, water is boiling. And remember I put in a 1/4 cup of salt and 1/2 cup of sugar. And you might say, hey Tom, that's not enough flavor for my taste. That's okay. You can increase the salt and the sugar if you wish. I like, when I do this, I don't want my nuts to be, listen to me, I don't want my nuts to be all salty, but I just want a little bit of flavor to come out. So I like the subtle 1/4 cup of sugar to and 1/2 cup of, 1/4 cup of salt and 1/2 cup of sugar with a gallon of water. I like that ratio. I think it brings out a nice flavor. And if you know me, right, you've been watching my videos, you know the next thing we're gonna do is put this on the back burner, okay? And I'm going to set a timer for an hour, and then I'm going to start testing these nuts every 15 minutes, maybe half hour, to see when they're done. Technically, they're legumes, like lentils, so they're not really, you know, tree nuts. It's a little bit different. I don't know that that matters at all, but in terms of how long it takes for them to get tender, maybe that does matter. Don't know. Okay. So as I do, I take you through it step by step. This is 1 hour. In 1 hour, I took 1 nut out. I'm trying to open it. And I know that it's not nearly done yet, but I just want to show you what it looks like inside. Okay? And I'm going to bite one now. Oh, shit. Oh, wow. That's almost done. Hold on, let me get another one. All right, so this is why we test them frequently, right? This has never happened before. They've never been done this quickly. And like I said, maybe it's because these seem to be a little bit fresher, like they just seem like they just came out of the earth, whereas sometimes they're a little drier when you buy them. You see how some of them are floating, some of them are down at the bottom. And I tested two, and the al dente-ness, right, to the tooth, they are done. Now, they haven't absorbed any salty or sweet flavor, really, because, you know, it's been only an hour. So what I've done here is I've taken the lid off, and I've shut the flame off. They're going to continue to cook a little bit in this hot water because the water's still hot, but that water's going to cool quicker than if I had the flame on, and hopefully they'll soak up a little bit of the saltiness and sugariness of the water. And again, remember, I don't want them salty and I don't want them sweet. I just want them to have a little flavor. So I'm going to let them sit here for a little while, let it cool off, and then we're going to taste it again, I don't know, half hour, and then we'll probably have to drain them. All right, so in all my years of cooking boiling peanuts, this has never happened before, but they are getting soft too fast. I mean, my God, the jokes we can make, right? I got premature boiled peanuts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shock them so they don't continue to cook. I put a little salt and sugar in the bowl. Put the peanuts in the bowl. You see all the steam. And now I'm going to add some cold water because I want them to take on that sugary goodness, right? And the saltiness, but I don't want them to continue to cook. So I'm just going to do this, and that water's already warm. And now I'm going to put a few ice cubes in there so that they stop cooking. And then they're going to be fine. Oh my God, this is never ever. Usually I cook them for a few hours. So I've got, you know, premature done peanuts. Just threw a few ice cubes in there just to bring that temperature down. And these are going to be fine. They're going to be delicious. So here's the final product. I just opened a couple so you can see what it looks like. Let's see if I can do this. I don't have my phone stand over here. So you see how the nut is, it's not mushy. Like if I squeeze it, it's not going to crumble into a mush, right? It's just going to break apart like a nut. And these are delicious. Absolutely fantastic. They're exactly al dente. And because I put them in the saline with sugar, they absorb just a little bit of that flavor. And they're fantastic.